I got it, Donna, don't worry. Big round of applause to all the staff here at Plaza Live for making sure that we have a great breakfast this morning, getting here organized. It's so glad to be here for the 17th annual Breakfast of Champions. We are thrilled to be back in person. It's been a while. Everyone had to get dressed today. I usually tape these 2 or 3 weeks in advance and send it out to the team that gets it all edited up and ready to play on the slide. Let me introduce myself formally. My name is Stuart Moore. I'm an evening anchor over at West 2 News. So yes, I did work last night, got home at midnight, and I was here downtown from Longwood this morning. So how do y'all deal with the traffic every day? My God, if there was only a 1 cent per person per sale that we're able to pass so we could improve the city, never mind. We'll talk to the mayor in just a little bit. It is truly an honor to be the master of ceremonies this morning. After 4 years of virtual events, we're back here in person to have this special breakfast. The transition back to a live event is a testament to the resilience and the strength of our community, or maybe it's just a collective desire to eat something other than Pop-Tarts or a quick piece of toast when you're running out the house. I know you're all out here at dedication to the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association, and not just for those burritos, which you can please dine on right now that are at your table. Don't be bashful. You know, there's only so many we can collect and pass out on our way back to the office. I am excited to share with you the inspiring stories that highlight why legal aid is such a respected partner in our community and why your support is so vital to its existence. This is my 5th year, as I mentioned, hosting this event, and my first time in person. I must say you all look a little more impressive than just that tiny screen on Facebook Live when I'm streaming it from home. And it's wonderful to see everybody's actually dressed up. The pandemic, as we all know, brought around some, I hate to say the term, unprecedented times. People weren't always getting dressed for every situation they had to be a part of. I'm sure there were some accidental slippages in some of your court proceedings that were online, maybe somebody that was only wearing business up top and relaxed on the bottom. We won't go into descriptions. We all also remember the lawyer who was in the middle of a briefing who turned himself into a cat. That's one of my all-time favorites. If you get down, it's Judge, I can't help it. It was hilarious. Good luck trying that here. That reminds me to disclose to you, lawyers, of course, like disclosure as well, that this morning we are live with nearly 400 people while broadcasting on Orange County Government's Orange TV. So let's keep that in mind. My cousin, Tiffany Moore Russell, just arrived. She's probably going to be mad at me for calling her out. We're going to get to that in just a moment. We're not really cousins, but I like to say that. Most businesses have found the perfect balance between in-person and virtual events and gatherings. I'd like to have one of my favorite aspects into this breakfast. You know how whenever there's a virtual meeting, and I just called out Tiffany for this, when someone arrives late, it says, doo-doo-doo, Tiffany Moore Russell has joined the meeting. And it blows your cover when that announcement comes on. Well, that spotlight that's in the back of the room also help us call out anybody that walks in a little bit late. Our friends that have that happen to them. And here's Nick Shannon, folks. Where's Nick? Oh, well, yeah, you know. It wasn't supposed to go down that way. You kind of snuck in on us. But Tiffany Moore Russell was able to play that role without even knowing that she was a part of the script. Brilliant legal mind and friend to all. We all know that Nick is one of the proudest University of Florida Gators, I guess I'll say it, out there. We all make mistakes in life. We don't judge you forever. There are ways to get out of that. This is not the year for the Seminoles to throw jabs, of course. We are a football school, as we are the #1 ranked NCAA soccer team going into the tournament, but let's just all agree on one thing. Go Magic, go Pride, go City Lions. The Pride could be the first professional sports team to win a championship for the city of Orlando. Yes. And then we could also have the Lions do it days later, so we could have a dual parade. Back to that penny sales tax and traffic, we'll talk about that later. We also have a host of notable guests today, including Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings, Orange County Sheriff John Mina, Orange County Commissioners Nicole Wilson, Christine Moore, Maya Arube, and Michael Scott, City of Orlando Commissioners Jim Gray and Bakari Burns, City of Orlando Chief of Police Eric Adams, State Attorney Andrew Bain, and nearly all the 9th Judicial Circuit Judiciary. This is the worst place on the planet to commit a crime. Please give them all a round of applause. All right, back to the event at hand. Virtual events can easily go off the rails, as we've all seen. I'll give some personal experience for me. I've cooked during the live newscast. We had a TV that was getting mounted that fell during a live newscast. None of it which saw at home, but of course we don't have to deal with that now. Fortunately, we'll avoid all of that today, and this is a thoughtfully planned out event, carefully managed by the most important people in any room, virtual or live, the control booth. Thank you guys back there for all the hard work that you guys do. Today we have come together to support the finest legal aid organization in the state, which just so happens to be right here in our own backyard. We are here to support the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association. So let's give the Legal Aid Society a round of applause. And a few of my friends are here to share exactly how legal aid helps make Orange County and Central Florida a place we are proud to call home. Whether this is your first Breakfast of Champions or you are a longtime member, our legal aid family, we are excited to have you here. Your support, along with the incredible staff and volunteers, make this charity a standout success. Now, here's the fun part, and there's going to be fun parts. Every year, mostly to irritate that school up in Gainesville, I sign off BOC with a Go Noles. This year, your legal aid president, Rafael Rodriguez, an attorney with the Hartford Challenge University alumni, to donate to BOC by promising to wear the colors of the university with the highest alumni donations. So without further ado, please put your hands together for Rafael donning this year's top donating university colors, Florida State University. Oh, man. Oh! Doesn't he look beautiful? Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice hat.
Thank you so much. Good morning. We are thrilled to have you all here in person today. Put your hands together for in person. It's been 5 years, 5 long years since 2019 when we had this Breakfast of Champions last live and in person. I'm so glad to have you guys all here today. Your presence here is what makes this event truly special and meaningful. As many of you may have noticed from my garnet and gold attire, the FSU alumni outpaced my fellow Gators in donations this year. While it pains me as a proud UF Gator, I will do whatever it takes to support this incredible work that the Legal Aid Society does, even if that means donning Seminole colors, because everybody here all knows that Jed Main donated $20,000 to ensure that Gator colors were not worn here today. Incredible, but also extremely painful for this Florida Gator. So now, onto our show. I would like to ask everyone to please stand and join me in welcoming Curtis Protective Services Color Guard, who will present the flag and lead us in the Pledge of the Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you to Curtis Protective Services, not only for providing the color guard here today, but also for ensuring our safety at this incredible event. We appreciate your dedication and support. Now, please feel free to enjoy your breakfast as I take a moment here today to express our deepest gratitude to this year's sponsors. Without their generous contributions, this event and the vital work of the Legal Aid Society would not be possible. Our presenting sponsor, as I stated earlier, at $20,000 is Jed Main and the Main Law Firm. Our champion sponsor at $15,000 is Paul Knopfe Bigger Trial Lawyers. Our platinum sponsor at $10,000 is the City of Orlando Police, headed by Chief Eric Smith. And our gold $5,000 sponsors include Carlton Fields, First Horizon Bank, Florida Lawyers Mutual Insurance Company, Lee Lombardi, Legally Pink Law, Lowndes Law, the Joe and Sarah Galloway Foundation, and the Orange County Sheriff's Office, headed by Sheriff John Mina. Our $2,750 silver sponsors include Bose Sanks, Climate First Bank, Cole Scott and Cassane, Dinsmore and Scholl, formerly known as Mateer and Harbert, Fisher Rushmer, Holland and Knight Charitable Foundation, Sally D. Millward Kest and John M. Kest, King, Blackwell, Zender, and Vermouth, the O'Mara Law Group, the Orlando Law Group, Paul and Perkins, Total Health Guidance, Dr. John Steitler, Winder, Weedle, Haynes, Ward, and Woodman, and Zimmerman, Kaiser, and Sutcliffe. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank each of these sponsors for their unwavering support. Their commitment here today ensures that Legal Aid Action can continue to provide critical legal services to those in need throughout our community. They are the foundation of our great community, and you are always appreciated. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy your breakfast. Now I can get this off.
Thank you, Raphael. Thank you so much for being a good sport on wearing that. We'll hope you'll be wearing it again next year and for many years to come. And if you want, we can get you a quick coursework over there. I'm on the alumni group. We can get you a quick class so you can be an alum as well. All right. Thank you so much once again. Let's give a warm welcome to Orange County's Mayor, Mr. Jerry Demings. I was teasing you earlier, Mayor. Yeah, I know you didn't. You never saw that one coming about the penny sales tax, but that's a whole other topic.
All right, good morning to all of you. It is indeed a privilege to be here. I am a proud graduate of Florida State University as well. This hadn't been the best year for us, Stuart, but I know that it will get better. But in either case, I'm honored to be here with some of my colleagues from the Board of County Commission. We have Commissioner Myra Uribe, who is here, and Commissioner Michael Scott. I'm not sure if we have any of our other commissioners here, but we do stand in solidarity with our Board of County Commission to do good in this community and to support the Legal Aid Society. And so as we move forward this morning, I want you to know that Orange County is where people from all backgrounds come together to create a dynamic, prosperous environment for themselves and their loved ones. With wealth and prosperity, it takes on different forms. What the data indicates to us is that 13 out of 100 people in Orange County are indigent. It takes all of us to look out for each other, especially our vulnerable neighbors, because success for the smallest of us is certainly what we strive for, to make them part of the greatest of us within this community. Our friends at the Legal Aid Society have led the way in providing quality legal services for our neighbors in need since 1961. I think that deserves a round of applause. 1961. Well, that's 63 years, so I've been around longer than that. But this response by legal aid includes responding during times of crisis, especially during times like COVID-19, the pandemic that we all lived through. They helped Orange County government lead the way in addressing the affordable housing issue head on. They represent our brave military veterans in probate and guardianship issues, a part of what they do within our community. They help our senior citizens evade predatory schemes. They always focus on the needs of others. We're proud to have a long-standing partnership with Legal Aid. They are an essential partner in our community, and we're all grateful for the dedication and passionate legal professionals who provide the safety net for those most in need. I say, as a lifelong resident of Orange County, as an Orange County mayor who has the opportunity to represent the 1.5 million people who call Orange County home. Thank you to the Legal Aid Society and for all of those attorneys who are doing the great work within our community. May God continue to bless the Legal Aid Society. May we all continue to have the benefit of living in the greatest nation in the world. Thank you so much.
I need to give a shout out to at least one more lawmaker in here who was not on the script, but we can all see here, Miss Anna Escamani, who may be taking Jerry Dimmy's job one day. Look, I just threw in that you might be running for Orange County Mayor one day at the end. I don't know if anybody caught that. We all know something eventually is coming. We just don't know what it is yet. Anyway. Yes. Oh, well, who doesn't want to say their name on the monorail when you're flying in and out of Orlando? The sheriff is going to have something to say about that. I'm Orange County Sheriff, John Mina. Welcome to never mind. We're going out the wrong way. Let's get to the stage, Mr. Artie Hirani, the OCBA president. Please give him a round of applause. Or her a round of applause, excuse me.
Good morning. My name is Arthi Ajith Hirani, and I am so proud to serve at this year's Orange County Bar President. I'm also a double gator, by the way. I am a fourth-generation lawyer, but I'm even more honored to say that I am a second-generation member of the Orange County Bar Executive Member Council. I'm also a second generation of the Legal Aid Board of Trustees. My mother, Mina Hirani, is a past president of this very organization, the Legal Aid Board of Trustees. As president of the Orange County Bar Association and a past member of the Legal Aid Board of Trustees, I have firsthand knowledge of the great work that this organization does. 63 years ago, the Orange County Bar Organization created this organization, and it began a tradition of service to assist the community's most vulnerable. Who would have thought that this organization grew into something so bright for all of us to see? My theme this year is We Did It Together. The OCBA is proud of its members that donate its time and money to this organization. Together, we have saved countless homes, protected the interests of many children through the Guardian Ad Litem program. Together, we have prevented fraud against seniors, secured thousands of adoptions, and so much more. Today, we not only celebrate the amazing work of the Legal Aid Society, but we gather to ensure that we have a bright, successful future together. Thank you very much.
A Gator MC wouldn't have helped her down, just saying. That's an incredible reminder, though, exactly of why we are here today. Now, please welcome not only the 2024 OCBA Pro Bono Award winner, but also Workers' Compensation Law Board certified attorney Sean McCormick with the Colleen, Gilbert, and Wright, the Florida firm. Sean?
Good morning, everyone. Wanted to chat with you about my role as a guardian ad litem, starting with three important things: the how, the what, and the why. So I was fortunate enough to be a law student at Berry Law down the street about 20 years ago, go Berry, when someone from the Legal Aid Society came into the classroom and talked about the ability to serve as a guardian ad litem. And I didn't really want to go into family law, but I felt like it was something I could do to give back and help the children who needs it most. It was an ability to kind of use the law degree and move forward and help others. And I've always been involved in undergrad and throughout my life, and I felt like this was just kind of the next step that I could do. We have our practices, whatever it would be, but no one really has the opportunity to really interact with children, find out what their needs are, and find out, okay, wow, this child has been abused, abandoned, or neglected, and what can you do as a guardian ad litem to help get them back on track? And I never realized I would be here 20 years later talking to you all about my journey into guardian ad litem. So let's turn to the why. So obviously the really simple answer is it's providing personal satisfaction and it's helping others in reunification, adoption, or permanent guardianship of the children. We either all have been a child, hopefully, or we have children, and you can't imagine what it would be like to be abused, neglected, or abandoned by your parents. Sometimes they're intentional, sometimes it's not, but it can be a scary and very daunting process. And this is where the guardian ad litem can come in. So I wanted to share with you a specific story that I was involved in approximately 10 years ago. And this was really one of the most memorable cases that I handled. It involved a situation where there's a family of 3 traveling with their grandparents into the state of Florida. They were traveling and coming here to vacation. They had stopped at a hotel. The infant child was on the bed, and he rolled off the bed and hit his head. There was injuries, bleeding. He wasn't wanting to eat, was fussy. Unfortunately, the grandparents delayed and took him in a day and a half later to the hospital. The exam revealed that he was barely breathing, had a subdermal hematoma, had internal bleeding, and a fracture to the forehead. The medical staff and the doctors reviewed the child and the condition, and they indicated that the description of the accident was not consistent with the injuries that the child had sustained and was that of a shaken baby syndrome. So fortunately, the child made a full recovery. He had neurosurgery to remove part of his skull to allow room for the swelling. And immediately the children were sheltered. And for those of you that don't understand, that means they're removed from their parents or their guardians, and they're placed into the system, usually with the foster care or a relative that's available. And so one of the roles as a guardian ad litem is to kind of look at the situation and say, well, what is the best option here? Is it reunification with the grandparents or parents? Is it adoption? Is there something else going on here that we can help with? And so the grandparents came back into the scene. They were provided with a case plan, the steps to get their grandchildren back, but unfortunately it suffered some roadblocks along the way. They were testing positive for drugs. During the visitation, there was an allegation that one of the girls had suffered a bruise to her eye, and upon further investigation, she indicated that it was from the grandfather that hit her. So we just knew, or I knew, that just wasn't going to be a good fit. And mom came back into the picture, and you sometimes have that where grandparents are more involved than the parent, and mom wanted to be involved, but it can be confusing to the child because mom wasn't involved for a while, and we all know if you're going to be a parent, it's 100% involvement. It's not a situation where you do it when it's convenient for you or it revolves around your social life. And so she had one foot in the door and one foot out, and that's just not what these children need. And so with some discussion and investigation, and with my recommendation, mom agreed to surrender her rights and allow the kids to be adopted with the foster family that they were with. Unfortunately, in this situation, because the child had a head injury, he had to be placed into special foster care with a foster parent who was trained in his medical condition. And so the 2 older were separated from the younger, and that just really hit me hard, knowing that we all have that sibling bond. For those of you who have a sibling, and it's super strong, and I always wanted to make sure in the cases that I handle that siblings are always reunited together. So I was filing motions to make sure that the department was complying with visitation for the children, because that wasn't happening. So long story short, we moved forward to adoption. I was able to meet with the children several times, and if you're old enough, the child can express a preference. Do you want to stay with your foster parents? What is your preference? And when I spoke with her, she said she wanted to stay here. And so fast forward to the adoption hearing. For those of you who haven't been in adoption, it's just a real humbling experience. The judge will ask several questions. You want to make sure that you're entering into this, you know what you're doing. And at the end, the final question was, and why do you want to adopt these kids? And the parent said, because I love them. And so that's not really an end game that we get in law a lot. We're normally fighting about contract dispute, compensation, burdens of proof. But when you have the end game of love, it just really hits your heart in terms of providing that satisfaction and knowing that child was able to get what they need, because that's all really they want. They want stability, they want permanency, they want that love and routine. And as a guardian ad litem, you can help fulfill that by making a difference in the children's lives. So I want to just finish with the what. what does it take to be a guardian ad litem? Obviously, anybody here can do it. I know there's some in the room, so thank you for your service. But it involves interviewing the parents, working with the department, looking at the case plans, doing investigations, meeting with the children to determine what's in their best interest. And that's just really a gut feeling that you have after meeting with everybody and giving your personal opinion on what could be best for the child. And also, you're able to work as a party in the courtroom, file motions, do objections, advocate for your client's best needs. And it's just part of my routine. A lot of people ask, well, how do I make time for it? Well, there's always time in the day. You just have to make it happen. I know that Raphael and I are both elite athletes, and I'm riding my bike 5:30 in the morning down the street, and I see him running the opposite way. So there's always time. You may just have to wake up a little bit earlier for it, but it's definitely there. And I just wanted to conclude by thanking the Legal Aid Society for really providing the opportunity, the resources, the support. They have attorneys that are in the courtroom as a resource if you need to ask them any questions or be there. And they also will send you reminders. I don't know if Cheryl is here, but she sends emails out to me all the time, reminding me of upcoming dates and important reminders that I need to. So thank you so much for this opportunity. If you're interested in serving as a guardian ad litem, I can definitely speak with you. Anybody here that has been a guardian ad litem can do so as well. You can speak with the Legal Aid Society. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. That was amazing. Just a quick reminder of what, a lot of people are working for and helping mend those families together. And because I love our children, it's really touching as my wife texts me that your sons are going crazy. So at the heart of the Orange County Legal Aid Society, it plays a vital role in ensuring access to justice for all. Whether it's through community outreach, direct legal services, or educational events, Legal Aid's presence is felt in every zip code, offering hope and support to those facing significant legal challenges. Week after week, dedicated legal aid professionals and volunteers work tirelessly to empower individuals and families, equipping them with the legal tools they need to overcome some of life's greatest difficulties like homelessness, physical abuse, and economic exploitation. Your support makes this possible. It's not just important, it's essential to their mission. Each success story, each client who rises above unimaginable challenges represents the strength and resilience of our community. These stories are a testament to the transformative power of the Legal Aid Society's quality legal services. So please sit back, please dim the lights, and enjoy our 2024 Breakfast of Champions video presentation. And to simply put it, that's why we're here today, because of stories like that. Next, we have the fortunate enough to be able to hear from one of those everyday superheroes, volunteer advocate for children, foster mother, and friend of the Legal Aid Society, Mara Shore, and her client turned foster child turned permanent part of her life, Hayden Patrick.
It's always great to have people help you up the steps when you're in a dress. Good morning. My name is Mara Shore, and full disclosure, I am not a lawyer. That makes me an anomaly in this room. But I know so many of you because of legal aid. This is Hayden. And Hayden is one of my absolute favorite humans in the world. She is my 19-year-old. And we joke all the time that I always say she is my teenager. It's the best way to describe our relationship. I don't know what I'm going to do when she turns 35 one day. She's always going to be my teenager. Our dog knows that word and goes to find her. See, we joke that while so many people, when they start their families with little ones, they get their kids from scratch. Hayden's a baker, so we use baking analogies in our house. Right? They get their kids from scratch. Mine came to me at 17 with several tattoos. They're great. Hayden entered the foster care system 6 years ago at 13 years old. We would not be here today in our blended family if it was not for legal aid, our big, beautiful, modern blended family. Hayden's specific story is not mine to tell. And I say this to people when they ask over and over again, right? Her story is not mine to tell. But I will share that both of us are all too familiar with what happens when your family deals with addiction. And that's how I lost my brother in 2019. That's why I started volunteering with Legal Aid as an advocate in 2021, thanks to the amazing Annie Rodriguez-Newburn, who's sitting up here. So many of us know. That's why I became Hayden's advocate in 2022 before she came to live with my husband and I just a few months later. And that's why I hate that I can relate to those of us that have dealt with addictions in our family that we so often don't talk about. You see, Hayden was in and out of foster homes before coming to live with my husband, Russell, and I. She lived in 8 different places, including several group homes here in Central Florida. She wanted me to tell you that specifically since that part is so often forgotten. Most adults have very specific things to say about those teenagers. I mean, which is, we know teenagers as a whole are very, very easy. But we hear this again and again about those teenagers, right? Things that people over the years have gotten wrong in her chart, in her file, and without even meeting her, there's these assumptions, things people wrongfully judge. But not Victoria. See, Hayden has a guardian ad litem whose name is Victoria Minglardi. For those of you that know, I see, yes. So, for those of you that know Victoria Minglardi, if you've opposed her in court, I am sorry. If you're lucky enough to have her on your side, you know how lucky you are to have her in your orbit. When most people gave up on Hayden and saw her as another teen in foster care, Victoria didn't. We didn't. Victoria has been there for the big things and the small things. Birthdays, sitting with us at Cheesecake Factory to celebrate Hayden getting her GED, which we call, yes? Warranted a new dress and high heels. My husband helped her pick out all of it. It was great. Her driver's license, her first apartment. Victoria represented Hayden in court and answered every single legal question that we had along the way, as did the rest of the legal aid team. And for those of you that have ever met me, trust me, there are a lot of questions I have about everything all the time. She helped fight even after Hayden turned 18. Victoria has fought against a system that has tried to tell Hayden to settle. And y'all, Hayden won't settle. If you know her, Hayden does not settle. She started a dog sitting business at 17. She learned how to bake, and only bakes from scratch, by the way, which is bad for my waistline, but amazing for everybody else. So now, technically, Hayden has aged out at 19 years old. And she's aged out of a system that no one should have to endure. No one should have to endure the foster care system. And she has fought against odds left and right, and we continue to show up for this amazing young woman that you see right here. We show up for Hayden because we knew that with the right support, she would emerge as this amazing person you see here today. A Swiftie with a heart of gold, a solid dessert menu in place for our family's Thanksgiving in just a few weeks. She and my husband were discussing the grocery list just last night. A student at Valencia, straight A's this semester, thank you. Working towards a degree, and a proud mom of 3 cats. One of which was born in her bathroom sink. That's a whole other story. We, Victoria, your Aunt Billy, Russ, and I, we are so proud of you, and we can't wait to see what your future holds. A future that would not be so bright if it wasn't for legal aid and the ability to have the legal representation to help her fight for her rights. Thank you so much to Legal Aid and everyone that has made a difference.
Thank you once again. Your words are appreciated. And to put that story into perspective, it just truly tells us why we're all here today. Next, welcome to the stage, Ms. Bethany Barber, the Executive Director of the Legal Aid Society.
Good morning, Stuart. Thank you. Go Gators. I will tell you that next year, too. Friends, superheroes like Mara and Hayden, thank you for being here. Every day, we at the Legal Aid Society meet people at some of the lowest, most painful points of their lives. People who are scared, people who have nowhere else to turn, people who are fighting battles they never imagined, battles against homelessness, domestic violence, the loss of their entire life savings, or even the loss of their children. That's my headspace, day in, day out, every minute, every second of every day, and I'm probably the luckiest person in Orange County for it. The fact that I get to serve people who have made the choice to try to do something about their circumstances, the most difficult circumstances we could imagine, makes me grateful and so prideful of my community. I find role models in the clients we help themselves. But I unquestionably find confirmation that this world will be okay because of the Legal Aid Society supporters, pro bonos, and my fellow staffers, my teammates, who also choose to build a better world through their engagement with the Legal Aid Society. LAS supporters are actively working to make the world worthy of our children, our ancestors, and our families, every minute, every second, every day. It's hard for me to go somewhere in Orange County and not run into someone who has changed my life when they've given me the opportunity to serve. Former foster children who have since graduated from high school, college, they become homeowners, they've had kids of their own. They're all a part of my life still. The people I've met at outreach events who have come to us because they needed help saving their homes still reach out to me 6 years later, and they show me pictures of their home renovations because they're proud of themselves and they're proud of our relationships. I'm not unique in these stories. You heard it from Sean, you heard it from Mara. These connections and these memories last forever. I hear them weekly from many of you, my friends, you pro bono heroes. I grew up hearing the phrase, lift as we climb. So many of us have heard that phrase. That's what Legal Aid Society does. It's a home for the community. It's a depository for our dreams, for ourselves, and our kids. But here's the hard truth. Every single day, there are more people who walk through our doors than we can help. We have to make heartbreaking decisions about who we can take on and who we have to turn away. With every rejection, we know we aren't just turning away cases. We're turning away people, flesh and blood, their families, and their human lives. People who have the sound of their child's giggle at 2 years old permanently imprinted in their memories. People who always wanted to make their loved ones proud of them. People who worry about having that perfect Thanksgiving side dish for the people they love most on planet Earth. The only difference is the people who seek our services are also questioning how they're going to deliver that Thanksgiving side dish and pay their rent at the same time. The work we do isn't always about winning. It's about giving people a chance to build better lives. It's often about justice, but it's always about survival. It's about ensuring that every person, no matter the income, can have a voice in an incredibly powerful system built on an incredibly long-standing and forward-thinking concept that justice can and is blind. Together, we change lives. Together, we bring hope where there was none. And I promise you this, when you lift as you climb, you guarantee that someone is going to be there right next to you when you need a hand. Thank you. Thank you for being Legal Aid Society true friends and supporters.
Thank you, Bethany. To wrap up this year's event, former LAS president and OCBA haiku laureate, Nick Shannon of the Shannon Law Firm.
Thanks again, Stuart. And let's go ahead and get that haiku part out right away. So here we go. Now's your time to act. Will you be a champion? Legal Aid needs you. So that haiku was both 17 syllables, but it's also the cue that this is the part where the free breakfast becomes a little less free. Because I'm here today to help make it easy for you to support the great work that we've just heard, to help people like Hayden, to help Sean's clients and Bethany's clients, because we saw the numbers, 6,000 people come in every year. Can we help 6,000 people? No, but we'd love to. And the only way that happens is through the generosity of everyone here. Now, Orange County Bar Association is the only major metropolitan organization where every single lawyer is a member of the Legal Aid Society. And that is a fantastic thing, so congratulations to the OCBA on that. But whether you're a lawyer or a business person or a community servant, whoever you are, you're here, and we thank you for your support. And here's how to make it easy. On your table, you have these nifty things with QR codes. One of them's for a survey to tell Donna that she did a great job organizing this at the wonderful plaza. So go ahead and do that. Second, first, click this other one over here. That use your phone, get out the modern gadget, take your picture of the QR site, and you can donate via this, or if you want to wait till you're back at your office, you can donate at legalaidocba.org, or you also have envelopes, and you can use the pledge sheet that's located right in here. We got you coming and going. No matter which way you'd like to do it, it'll work. When you do, you can set up a monthly payment, like you might do for Netflix. So instead of Netflix and chill, you can Legal Aid donate and be great. You can, of course, do those credit card payments, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever you'd like. If you've already donated, thank you, Jed Main, you're good. So if you've already donated, we appreciate that. But if you haven't, you've got all of these opportunities to do so. And if you're old school like me, you can still break out your Costanza wallet, and cash and checks are accepted. The real reason why Curtis Security is here is to help make sure, for those of you who forgot on your way out, they can shake you a little bit. And there will be people at the doors on the way out to help collect that loose change that you might want to throw their way. So let's make a difference today. Your support is crucial to the Legal Aid mission. Thank you so much for being here and for doing what you do to make Legal Aid the amazing organization that it is. Also, one quick tidbit. At the end, there's going to be a bunch of names on this screen of some lucky winners who get a door prize. If you were one of those lucky winners, on your way out, after you've gotten the shakedown and you've put your money into the bucket, you can also pick up your prize, and it'll be there. For the rest of you, just chill, have a good time networking with your friends, and thank you again. Back to you, Stuart.
Deep down, he's been wanting to say back to you to somebody for years. For years. We're going to have some openings soon, Nick, if you're looking for a career change. Just putting that out there. All right, allow me to express my heartfelt gratitude for your unwavering support over the years. Your presence and contributions have made a significant difference. And it's always my pleasure to spend my morning, especially when it's only a few hours of sleep and 40 minutes away from my house, celebrating with the Legal Aid Society. As we wrap up the 17th annual BOC and my 5th with you all, first time in person, I close with an optimistic note about our hometown's future. Collectively, we help Central Florida remain one of the most desirable residential, business, and of course, tourist destinations in the entire world. As we quickly march towards the end of the year and begin preparations for the holiday season, we embrace our customs with our loved ones. This morning, we recognize the support of BOC as our beloved and proven tradition. We also look forward to seeing each and every one of you next year, and bring a friend. On behalf of the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association, clients, staff, and Board of Trustees, I am Stuart Moore, continuing my tradition of closing out today's ceremony by saying, Go Noles. May you and your loved ones in the Legal Aid Society have a prosperous and healthy new year. Have a great day.